Hey guys, I'm back, and this time we're going to be doing a quick film study on Errol Spence Jr. and Lamont Peterson ahead of their fight on January 20th. Let's do it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is Errol Spence Jr.'s ability to set up all of his offense off of a jab. Setting up your offense off of a jab is a very important skill in boxing because the jab is the punch that sets up other punches, such as a straight left hand for a southpaw or even a lead hook. Here against Chris Algieri, Errol Spence is going to use two jabs to step in and land this left hand to the body. And notice how when Errol Spence does this, he is stepping to the outside of Chris Algieri's lead leg, establishing lead foot dominance on him so that Chris Algieri cannot attack him back. So we notice here that as soon as Errol Spence gets on the outside of Algieri's leg, Algieri tries to counter over the top with a left hook, which kind of grazes Errol Spence Jr., but is able to mostly roll it over their shoulder. But of course, just like everything in boxing, this strategy, stepping in with a jab, will leave you susceptible for counters. So here in his fight with Kell Brook, we see him try to step in with a jab, and then Kell Brook counters him with a right hand as Spence is throwing that jab. So see, Kell Brook slips the jab and throws his right hand at the same time, essentially splitting the jab. And then here Spence is going to throw a jab again, and this time Kell Brook is going to come around the jab with a lead hook. So right in that instance right here, Errol Spence's jab was countered twice by Kell Brook. So what the question is, what is Errol Spence going to do next? So Errol Spence is going to now make an adjustment by ducking his head down as he throws the jab to avoid the lead hook counter by Kell Brook. And this way, Errol Spence is able to set up power shots on the inside, and this is what really wore Kell Brook down into the later rounds. So Errol Spence is going to enter with his patented double jab, and then Kell Brook is going to try to counter, but Errol Spence is going to slip under that hook and get onto the inside of Kell Brook and do some inside work. Nice adjustment by Errol Spence. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at Errol Spence Jr.'s amazing ability to set up counter punches against his opponent. Now look at this early fight against Brandon Hoskins, and Errol Spence is going to set up a counter punch by throwing this jab right here. This jab is not meant to really do any damage to Brandon Hoskins. Rather, it's to bait him into giving him something that he could counter. So he flashes this jab, this lazy jab in front of Brandon Hoskins, and this triggers Brandon Hoskins to come forward with a punch. And that offense that Brandon Hoskins commits to is able to be countered by Errol Spence Jr. So let's take a look at that again. So Errol Spence Jr. is going to flash his jab in front of Brandon Hoskins' face, and Brandon Hoskins is going to try to counter that, in which Errol Spence Jr. leans back to avoid Brandon Hoskins' aggression. So he's going to lean back right there and then counter with a right hook and a left hand. Beautiful counter punching from Errol Spence. Alright, so now we're going to take a look at Lamont Peterson. And now Peterson is not as known as a technical fighter as Errol Spence, but he does do a lot of things to pressure his opponents and get on the inside, and he could be very dangerous once he's on the inside. So now we're going to take a look at his fight with David Avanesian, and in this instance right here, Lamont Peterson is going to flash the jab in front of David Avanesian, but this, just like Errol Spence, is not supposed to do damage to him, but rather as an opportunity to set up a counter punch, or in this case for Lamont Peterson, get on the inside. So Lamont Peterson flashes this jab, and David Avanesian tries to counter it. She tries to counter it with that right hand, and so Lamont Peterson gets onto the inside by ducking under that counter, which he sees coming, and then land that left hook. So lands that left hook. Here in this clip against Amir Khan, we're going to take a look at Lamont Peterson's ability to combine his pressure along with punch selection. Now, similar to Marcos Maidana, Lamont Peterson is very good at selecting his punches once he's in the inside to make the most of his opportunities when he's on the inside of his opponents. So here against Amir Khan, we're going to see Lamont Peterson step forward with his hands high. Although this isn't the sexiest kind of boxing, it's what gets the job done for Lamont Peterson, as he's able to really wear down his opponents in the later rounds by constantly moving forward with his hands up and blocking punches. So we're going to take a look. Lamont Peterson is going to land a left hook on a retreating Amir Khan. And now he's on the inside. He's going to control him with his hands and start hammering away around Amir Khan's guard. So you see Amir Khan has a tight high guard, and typically a high guard is meant to block punches that are coming at you in a straight fashion. So Lamont Peterson is going to go around Amir Khan's high guard with punches to the body, and as soon as Amir Khan notices that Lamont Peterson is hitting him around the guard, he opens it just a little bit, and Lamont Peterson recognizes this and shoots this uppercut up the middle. So now Amir Khan is pretty much confused as to whether the punches are going to be coming around his gloves or straight up the pipe. So here, Lamont Peterson is going to throw a right hand up top and then a left hook around the gloves. Both punches were around the gloves of Amir Khan. And then as soon as Amir Khan backs up to the ropes and gives Lamont Peterson some room, he hits him down the pipe again. Pretty much every single one of those punches landed. Let's look at that entire sequence again. So around the high guard, and then through the high guard, which opened up, and then two more punches around the guard, and it is going to back Khan up with a subtle push and then hit him through the guard. Excellent inside work by Lamont Peterson. As always, thanks for watching, everybody. If you liked what you saw, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all after the fight with my post-fight breakdown. See you soon.